Welcome to Subramani. Please click on the subscribe button. Please like the videos. Please share it. The more you do, the more Google pushes it, right? YouTube pushes it. So, uh, when you are doing a vlog, constantly you're looking for topics and you're trying to connect things where maybe they're connected, maybe they're not connected, but you tend to find a lot of similarities. For example, in the recent bike ride, group ride which we did, I realized that even whether you're going for a simple road bike ride, or even if you're going for a mountain bike ride, anyway, you use the same bike for you use a hybrid tire, so you can do mountaineering, you can do road biking, everything with the same thing. Of course, some of my friends have few bikes, so they choose the appropriate bike, or bikes are also available on hire. So what are the similarities? First, you need to do some planning. So first, there is a lot of excitement saying we will go on this date, so a lot of planning as to who will come along and all that. So normally for me, it is largely a men thing. Out of 10 people, there will be 7 or 8 men and 1 or 2 girls. Most of them would be younger than me, but there are some people older than me also sometimes. In fact, fitter than me but older than me, right? So those kind of things. But you need a lot of planning. So you need to pick a date. Suppose you're in August, you need to pick a date and say October, and say on October 5th we will go, or October 7th we will go. So yes, like your retirement planning, there is a date to it, and on that date everything else has to fall in place. So what kind of route you will take, how many kilometers, maybe 100, maybe 120 kilometers to and fro, whether you will stop. For the biggest time waste would be stopping for food. So when you stop for food, each one will order and things like that. So you do maybe 2 hours of riding and 1 hour of eating. I mean, it doesn't take 1 hour, but yeah, a lot of waiting. And so unless you can plan in advance that we will stop at this place and we will eat this, it wastes a lot of time. So similarly, like that, while in your retirement planning also you have to plan in advance, and so you will waste less time. Secondly, I have found that any activity is better to do it with friends. So the best friends with whom you can plan your retirement is, of course, your classmates from school or college, because they're exactly the same age. All of you would be born given more or less the same time, right? Same year, give or take 6 months from the either side. So all of your marriages would have happened around the same time. You would have your children would be more or less same age. You may have lost your parents more or less at the same time, right? And you will all retire at on the same date. In fact, actually, same year. So it's nice to do it with a team. Of course, if you have got a big extended family, it could even be cousins, friends, neighbors, whoever, but better to have a big team along with you, right? So when we go, there'll be 1 or 2 cycling experts who know how to change tires, who know how to change tubes, who will carry the spare. Somebody will have all that, right? Very rarely, occasionally, you can get somebody's wife saying, okay, I will drive along with you, but that's a luxury which we can't plan. So everybody carries their own equipment, but yes, that equipment is available. So then you go along with the plan, according to the plan. You also realize that there will be times when there is a tremendous amount of uphill for a long period of time. 2-3 things you can do. One is to say, no, I will try the strength of my legs and the quality of my gears on the way up, or you can get down and push the thing to feel ashamed, because some people are far fitter than you, stronger than you. They may be able to ride it in one go, but some others may have to get down and wait, right? So you have to egg them on and say, just 5 more minutes, just 3 more minutes, and pull them along, because that's the purpose of going in a group. You have to have proper equipment. You have to have your proper helmet, your water bottles, your all other spares, etc. Even assuming there is somebody who is a sponsor, could be some shop or somebody who carries all that for you. You have to be reasonably well prepared with your gloves, with your helmet, with your goggles and things like that. These are not luxury items. You need it, absolutely need it. In 10, 12, 14 years of riding, I have fallen twice, and both the times I had reasonable advance notice of falling, maybe 20 seconds, which meant my hand went down and dragged on the road. Now, if I did not have gloves, I would have paid for with my skin. So the gloves were absolutely worth it. right? I've never fallen in such a way that I thanked myself for wearing a helmet. But this helmet is not expected to protect you from a truck running over your head. That will anyway take the helmet along, but it is meant so that if you fall, there is no sharp object hitting your brain, right? So that is what the cycle helmet does. The cycle helmet is different from the motorcycle helmet because it has to have holes, because you will sweat otherwise. So the cycle helmet could be a little different from your motorcycle helmet, or I mean, that's talking about equipment. So yes, you need the equipment, to be in good shape, and if you can get a sponsor who is coming with you, sponsor in the sense a person who is a coordinator, if he is coming along with you, chances are he will carry all the equipment which is needed, all the spares, etc. Very likely he will need, but you will have to carry your helmet, you will have to carry your gloves. A pump you may not have to carry, pump somebody else might carry, but yes, carrying all those things is important. Similarly, in retirement, knowing the importance of annuity, knowing the importance of term insurance, knowing the importance of medical insurance, all this is important. You have to learn about all these things, because only then you will appreciate why you need to have your own medical insurance and not be dependent on the company medical insurance, right? So you will carry your own gloves, you will carry your own water, but you may not, the guy who is coordinating the shop or somebody could be carrying your some medicines, right? So some paracetamol, some soframycin, some small time injury cleaning, some Dettol, or all those things somebody else could be carrying. But there is no harm that you carry some snacks for yourself, right? Some energy bar, some dates or things like that. All those things you have to carry. You have to know what you have to do, and you know what the group has to do. But it is always nice to have a group where all these coordination, etc., can be left to the smaller people, younger people. What happens is, this is the way you plan your retirement. Suppose you move into a gated community at the age of say 67, 68. There will be 80-year-olds who will need your help, and there will be, after some time, there will be, when you are 75, there will be some 65-year-olds who are coming in, whom you can guide, right? So you are into the journey for a long time, so you are able to learn from the seniors, and you are able to pass on to the juniors. That's the role that you do in the Vanaprastha also. That is the stage prior to sannyas. That is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to do mentoring, coaching, etc. So my way of giving back to society is to say, I will create content, and I don't think I am planning to put any of this content ever behind a paywall. So you will always find this content available for free, right? So anything where I am just creating content, I am putting it online for you. So how does it help? It helps me also, because once I have to speak, I have to articulate much better than what I do. Otherwise, I keep thinking there is no use. Unless I write or speak it out, it is not very cohesive, right? So here you are, you planned, you got your equipment, you got your group, you have got and you started doing the ride. Sometimes you are too tired, you may have to take a break, right? So this is exactly in life. You decide at some stage that you are paying for your father's medical bill or your children's college fees or something. That's a time when you have to take a break from your retirement contribution. It happens. It does not happen always. But your daughter got into medicine, she is doing medicine, and suddenly there is a 1 lakh rupee demand or a 2 lakh rupee demand, depending on your budgets. And then you realize, oh, this month I can't do some SIPs. So you pause your SIPs for 2-3 months. All this is perfectly possible. You see all that happening, right? So then somebody falls, then you go and help, and you make sure that the person is able to ride again. Similarly, if a person does not have medical insurance, then people around him pool and save, pay for the medical bills. We recently paid for somebody who ran up a bill about 80-90 lakhs. His estimate was 50 lakhs, so he had some insurance, and the remaining 30-40 lakhs had to be funded, right? So these things happen in a group ride also. You fall, you get hurt. Sometimes you're happy that it's a small hurt. Sometimes there have been people who've lost 6-8 months of cycling and running because of some accident. All these things will happen. It is easy to think that these things will not happen to me, but it is likely to happen to anybody, right? So on the way, make sure you take enough breaks, you take enough nutrition, you take enough photographs. Because after 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 5 years, you go back and say, oh my God, this is how we did this. It was so tough. Or say, oh, it was such a breeze coming down. Oh, we traveled at 6 kilometers per hour going up, and it was 54 kilometers on the way down, right? So some of these things you remember. So some photograph of your speedometer, if it is possible to freeze it, right? Some watches allow you to go back and record it, right? So some of these things, if you can, these remembrances help, right? So all those things, knowing that when you go up the mountain, being there will be good fun, coming down will be great fun, planning for that, looking forward to doing that, and all those things are also important. Similarly, in retirement, knowing what happens or what to expect, all that is also important. Sometimes it happens according to your plan, many times it happens without not adhering to your plan. You also realize that if you started early, invested well, invested in equities, and rode through 2-3 good cycles in the market, you would have accumulated good amount of money. So maybe you will be able to retire at 53 instead of 59 as you thought you would. So maybe at 53 you're free for retirement, financially free, you got financial independence, so you can now think of retiring early, right? Of course, so if having all these hobbies helps, but yes, those things can be planned. The best thing is, of course, after you finish the climb, and there's a great feeling. So similarly, after you retire and you know you have adequate money, you know your children have settled well, you know your parents have either gone off to the other world, or they are well off and managing well by themselves, they're very near you, you're supporting them, right? All these things, all your hard work is now is starting to pay off, right? So reaching that mountain top is great, and then on the way down, when you're traveling at 53 kilometers per hour or 54 kilometers per hour, you know the hard work has paid off. Thank you.